And the nature is just absolutely incredible. So it has some of the most amazing national parks, an incredible amount of biodiversity, and it's just, you're never short on things to do here. You can go and visit volcanoes, the wildlife, and there's so many amazing things to do in Costa Rica. It's a really amazing place to be.
Welcome to the show, Canadians Work and Travel Abroad, a podcast by Go International Work and Travel Providers about all things to do with working and traveling overseas. I'm Tamsin Plaxton, host of the show and founder of Go International. I'm also an avid international traveler. Welcome back to Canadians Work and Travel Abroad. I'm Tamsin Plaxton, and I'm joined today by a guest from Costa Rica, Megan Brown. Welcome, Megan.
Hi, Tamsin. Nice to be here with you. I'm looking forward to chatting to you more about our program today.
Yeah, great to see you. So Megan is an employee of our partner organization in Costa Rica that partners with Go International called Explore. And Megan, before we started recording, you mentioned to me that you've been with the company for 6 years. How did you find yourself in Costa Rica? What took you there?
So I've been working with our organization for 6 years, and we were looking at the best destinations to teach English, and we were looking to expand into new areas. And Costa Rica is such an amazing destination. The travel opportunities here are incredible, and it's such a popular place for people to come and visit. We really wanted to go into creating a program here to offer that opportunity for people to come and take a little bit more than just a vacation, to actually stay here longer term, soak up the culture. And so I came over to Costa Rica several years ago and started meeting with schools here and meeting with local partners as well. And we just saw that there was amazing opportunities to set up a program here and decided to go for it. So it's all been uphill from there.
Wow, what a nice job transfer to get transferred to Costa Rica. Beautiful place. So can you tell me about Explore, the company? When did it start and what's the kind of mission or business?
So Explore started 10 years ago, and we opened up the program to train people to teach English. The reason that the founders decided to create the organization was because they were actually traveling abroad on a Fulbright Hays scholarship and studying abroad. And during their time, this was actually in Thailand, during their time there, they noticed that there was a lot of people that were traveling, maybe backpacking through, and they were teaching English and taking job opportunities because there was a demand there, but they weren't necessarily doing a good job of that. And so the quality of education for local people was poor because people didn't have the skills to be teaching. And so the founders decided to create a course to help people get a good qualification. So when they go into schools, they feel confident, they can do the job well, and it really is positive for the local people that they're working with. The other major part of what we do is that we have cultural orientation. So there's lots of organizations out there that do sort of teaching qualifications, but not many that focus on both the teaching and the cultural integration. This is one of the key ingredients is if you're moving abroad to another country, understanding that culture and being able to integrate into the culture will create the most rewarding experience and mean that people are most successful at the job they're going to do. So we brought those two things together to run cultural orientation programs and a teach work program. We put it all together to really well prepare people for coming over to Costa Rica and to teach English, and also to have an amazing learning experience whilst they're here.
Yeah, we've heard some great feedback from participants about the experience in working with you for both the training and for the job placement and the support while they're there. As we know, Canadians can get the working holiday visa to work in Costa Rica, and it's good for a year. They can work up to a whole year on that visa as long as they're between the ages of 18 to 35. They're eligible for the work permit, and gives them this opportunity, this fantastic opportunity to really immerse themselves in life there and support themselves by working there. So can we talk about the programs that you offer there in Costa Rica and what would work for a Canadian of the programs that you offer?
So we have two different types of program that we offer in Costa Rica. Both of these programs are to help people to move abroad and find a great teaching placement. And the teaching placements are anywhere from 6 months to 1 year long. Some people end up staying longer. The two different programs are, one of them is a TESOL course and cultural orientation program. That program is 1 month long, where they're in country with our staff who are guiding them through everything. And then after they've taken the course to learn how to teach and to learn more about Costa Rican culture, the team then will help them get set up with a job placement and guide them on moving out to their placement area and going to teach. So they spend 1 month with us, and then the remainder of the year that will be spent at their work placement. The other program that we offer is a 1 week program. So it's a shorter program where people will come through just for 1 week. And if they come through just for the week, it will only be the cultural orientation side of things rather than the TEFL certification. So that program is ideal for people who already have done their TEFL certification, or they have a degree in teaching and a background in teaching. So we have a program for people who are completely new to this, and a program for people with a little bit more experience that just want to get a little bit of a head start and orientation to the country when they arrive. So 2 different programs there.
Yeah, that's perfect, because I think a lot of Canadians probably haven't had the experience of teaching, who are thinking of doing a gap year or, a 6-month trip abroad and want to work. And this would be new for them to teach English, and getting that certification is definitely obviously required and is going to be extremely helpful for them if they've never taught anyone before. Is that a globally recognized certificate? Would they be able to use that again in the future if they're looking for other jobs in other countries?
Absolutely. So our TEFL certification is accredited, which means we get a close scrutiny of content, and we have to keep it very up to date. And we submit reports on to every person that comes through and passes the programs. Accreditation is very important to make sure we maintain a high level of quality. And it can also be used around the globe, so people can go to use it anywhere in the world, and they can teach English using our certificate.
Right. So it's a great investment in yourself personally to get that training and then certification, because it's a job you can always have in your back pocket. Maybe you're down the road in your career, you want to take a break and do something abroad, you can always fall back on teaching English anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. And people can even use it at home. Lots of people travel from around the world to learn English in their home country as well. So I know lots of people who like to teach in Costa Rica most of the year, and then they go and do sort of short summer programs at home using their certificate as well. So it's something that can be used around the globe and at home.
Yeah. Now, I know you've done a great job as a company in developing your network of employers. What are the types of institutions or language schools that you would typically see Canadian participants or your participants get jobs in after they do that training and orientation with you?
So in Costa Rica, there are 3 different types of placement that we help people get set up. So one of the main types of work placement are called language academies. So this is where people who want to learn English will go and sign up to take a course for maybe several months or maybe long term. And they will be learning English. The most common times to do that are in the evenings and sometimes on the weekends. So you'd quite often be teaching adults, for example, who maybe work in tourism and want to get more practice with the language so they can get better jobs in tourism. Some work for international companies. So a lot of people want to learn business English to get better employment opportunities. The great thing about that is that the students are super motivated. You'll often be working with people that are maybe a similar age, so it can be a really nice cultural exchange as well. And it's really rewarding experience. And the good news about working in the evenings is you have the best time of part of the day out in the sunshine to enjoy being in Costa Rica.
Right. Yeah. Because as we know, Costa Rica is so famous for all the outdoor and nature and ecology, so many things to do during the day. Yeah,
it really, and the nature is just absolutely incredible. So it has some of the most amazing national parks, an incredible amount of biodiversity, and it's just, you're never short on things to do here. There's so many, you can go and visit volcanoes, the wildlife, and there's so many amazing things to do in Costa Rica. It's a really amazing place to be.
It's pretty beautiful what you're sitting in front of right now. I just saw a butterfly fly through the flowers.
So there's usually hummingbirds in this tree. So if we're lucky, you might actually see hummingbirds in the background.
It's beautiful. So how is the work placement arranged? What's the process for a participant in terms of how you introduce them to employers? What's their part in that? What's your role in that? And how much time does that take?
So the way we complete the placement process, it's very tailored to the individual that is coming over to work. We know that everybody embarks on a teacher abroad or moving abroad experience for a different reason. And so We start out by giving an overview of the placements that are available, the different types of schools. Language Academy is the most common, but we also work with international schools and online teaching positions as well. And so after we've given an overview and detailed information, we'll then give more tailored sort of advice. So each week, the participant will meet with the placement coordinator who will ask them, what is it you're trying to get out of this experience? What's most important to you? Are you looking for a particular type of location? Are you looking for a particular type of teaching environment? And then we work through that process to identify opportunities that will be a good fit for the candidate. So then we'll give information about the different positions available and then assist the participant through the interview process. We've been working with the schools for a long time, so we generally know what kinds of questions come up, and we're well placed to advise on how to maximize the possibility of getting their preferred placement. And we have a really high success rate that everybody in the past year has been able to get their preferred placement setting.
It's fantastic. And how quickly after they finish the course are they usually working? How soon after?
So our aim is to get people working pretty much straight after the course. So there will be some variation, but it's nearly always within a couple of weeks after the program finished. Sometimes it's you finish on Friday and you start work on Monday. Other times you're a week or two before term starts or the classes are opening up. So it's usually very close.
It's fantastic. I know Canadians are going to wonder about how much they can make and will they be able to cover their expenses when they're there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the salaries in Costa Rica are very much in line with the cost of living here. So the average amount that a language teacher will make will be anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 a month is the most common range. That's US dollars. And the cost of living here is quite low. So they can find a homestay, for example, where they have all their meals included for maybe $300 per month, or they can get their own room in a shared apartment for a similar amount. They can get an individual apartment for maybe $400 or $500. It's enough to live well and to cover all expenses. And the great news about the earning potential in Costa Rica is that there's always more opportunities. So if you want to boost your income, you can take on extra people with tutoring, or some people work at a language school most of the time and then maybe have a few tutoring clients that they work with as well. So some people are the opposite. They want to come here and enjoy it. They work the minimum amount needed to cover costs and they have more time to enjoy Costa Rica. So it's really individual, but we have people doing a bit of both. We've had people and maximize and make far above the general range, and some that are just using it to cover the cost of living.
That's why Canadians are so lucky, because they have the open work permit, so they can do anything on that. They're not restricted to a specific employer or specific job. They can work as many hours as they want or as little hours as they want, just like they would at home. It's a very flexible work permit. It's a great opportunity. I wish I went to Australia when I was younger on a working holiday work permit, but now I wish we had that agreement. Canada and Costa Rica, I would definitely have gone there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
What would you say they should do to prepare themselves before arriving? Is there anything other than, you obviously did the TESOL training, but anything they need to think about in terms of getting themselves prepared, either financially, psychologically?
So we don't have too many specific requirements or expectations. When people join the program, the benefit of coming through a program like ours is it's designed to meet you where you're at. So if you're doing this for the first time, you're nervous, you're just finding your feet with the decision, then we will take you and guide you through everything to expect. With moving abroad, we can answer every question you can think of, no matter how small it may seem. All of the staff members that will be working with the participants have been in that setting themselves. So from that perspective, there aren't any specific things they have to do, but there's always, of course, some things that we recommend if people do want to get a head start. Learning Spanish is always good to get a little start on that. If you maybe haven't done too much Spanish study before, it's nice to start practicing that a little bit because they'll have so many opportunities to practice the language and when they arrive. I think from a mindset perspective, the best preparation is to come with a completely open mind. Sometimes people try and think about the experience and narrow down exactly what it will be like, but it's best to come with a completely open mind and go through things from there. So I think definitely good to get started on the language and come with an open mind. The rest we will help them fully guide people through.
And is there a better time of year to arrive in Costa Rica for this, or does it matter?
So we accept people throughout the year. We can work around what's best for people who want to travel. Having said that, as with all job markets, there's certain times that are slightly better than others. So one very good time of year to come is right at the beginning of the year with language learning. A lot of people start out the new year in Costa Rica thinking new year, new me. I'm going to sign up to that language class, and therefore language academies need more language teachers at that time of year. And we see a bit that happening again around the middle of the year as well. So around June or July is another really good time to come through. Closer towards the end of the year, people are getting swept up in Christmas, and so more focused on that sort of thing. So for the most amount of opportunities earlier in the year is the number one time. But as I said, we can accept people at any time, and we will help people get jobs throughout the year whenever they feel most comfortable traveling.
Right. Are there any remarkable stories that you can think of for participants that have come through the program? Anything that sticks out that you want to share?
I think so many people that come through the program have completely unique and individual experiences whilst they've been here. So a few spring to mind. I think that some of the things that happen quite commonly are people saying that they only want to come for a short amount of time initially, and then they end up staying long term. So we have several people from our very first course ever in Costa Rica still here and still living and thriving here. One of them insisted that she only wanted a 6 month job placement because she wasn't sure about committing to a year, and years down the line is still here and actually has come back to help work on the program as well. So the stories like that, I think, are the most inspiring. We've had lots of love stories as well. So meeting people locally and sort of settling down as well. So so many unique and inspiring stories. I think that it's just seeing people change their whole plans because they fall in love with the country are the most inspiring to me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, that goes with every experience overseas, isn't it? That people, once they have a taste of living and working abroad in a foreign country, it's such a different experience than just traveling through. You know, you can go to Costa Rica, stay in a nice resort, maybe do some zip lining and some hiking and experience Costa Rica as a tourist, but it's a very different experience when you live there and get to know the locals and really experience the culture. And that can be quite a life-changing experience.
It absolutely can. So our tagline is embracing culture and changing lives. And I think that really sums up what we do. We really want to help people see the non-touristy side to Costa Rica. I mean, part of what we do for everybody that arrives in country is to take them to places that tourists wouldn't usually go. And during the week, they have a lot of fun learning about Costa Rican history, Costa Rican culture and politics. And then we do fun stuff as well, like cooking classes, so they can actually learn how local food is prepared. So they're not just eating out at international restaurants all the time. And then we also take them out to see like agricultural livelihoods, like coffee farm is usually people's favorite. They actually get to go and pick the coffee and see how it grows. And it's something that people enjoy every day, but don't necessarily think about where it comes from. So we really offer a window into sort of the real sort of cultural side of things, which I don't think you necessarily see when you come for a week or two and you're doing lots of fun touristy things. But it's something that coming long term offers you such a deeper, more meaningful experience that has the impact for sort of a long term.
And where are you situated? The headquarters where they do their training?
So the headquarters where our training takes place is in San Ramon. So San Ramon is in the Central Valley, and it is surrounded by coffee fields in the sort of the area outside the city. It's quite mountainous. So the climate's amazing. It's cool and temperate all year round. I mean, it's nice warm weather, but it never gets too hot. Nice fresh sort of mountain weather. And then it's also not a major tourist destination. So it's a real chance for people to really go and see what local life is really like and get a really good cultural experience before going out to visit different places. But there's loads of amazing things to do around there. There's waterfalls and there's viewpoints you can hike up to. And it's a great place to be. I love being there.
So the participants would fly directly into that city?
They fly to San Jose, which is 45 minutes. It's about 45 minutes from the airport where we're situated. So they fly into the main airport, and then we meet them at the airport and bring them straight through to San Ramon and help them get settled.
And what about accommodation when they first arrive? What's provided for them as part of that training program period?
So the accommodation is really great. It's an accommodation where each room has an ensuite bathroom, And there's also a very large communal area. So they've got sofas and a balcony with rocking chairs on it, which is super nice for relaxing and looking at the mountains. And they've got 2 different kitchens as well. So it never feels like you're sort of close or confined whilst you're sort of preparing meals and things like that. So the communal area is just for the people taking part in the course. So it's not like a hostel where there'll be lots of people from outside. It's a chance for people to really get to know the people they're studying with and to have their own relaxing space. And the training actually takes place in the same building. So they have their living quarters upstairs and then the classroom is downstairs. So it's super convenient and a really nice place to be for them. And
that's fantastic. What an easy way to arrive and immediately step into your experience in Costa Rica. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with people on this episode about the experience?
I think from my personal experience, I think moving abroad has been one of the best things I've done in my life. I was also one of those people who moved abroad thinking it would be a short-term move, and having the first year abroad was really a springboard to everything I've done since. I've now been living abroad and living in different countries for the past 10 years. I think the first year that I moved abroad was the most formative and gave me the most amazing sort of experience to start everything else that I did. So I think Costa Rica is a perfect place to do that. I mean, what's not to like? They have rainforests and sloughs, volcanoes, mountains, incredible beaches, incredible food, and very, very friendly people. Everyone here is super welcoming. And so from that perspective, it's quite an easy place to move abroad to. So if you're having doubts, I would just say, take the leap. Have faith that everything will work out. You're going to be guided by people who are passionate about doing this and who have all been in the same situation. And we're excited about helping people to have the same amazing experiences that we've had.
Amazing. Sign me up. I want to come. Okay. Thanks again, Megan. It was so nice to spend this time with you and hear all about it.
Thank you.
Well, that's all for this episode of Canadians Work and Travel Abroad. I'm Tamsin Plaxton, and thanks for joining us. We would love to hear from you. So if you have feedback or ideas of other topics you would like us to cover in new episodes, please contact us. Our email address is programs, programs, programs @gointernational.ca. And if you want to learn more about the programs we currently offer, please visit our website, www.gointernational.ca. And in order to help us find more Canadians and share this information, please like and review this podcast. We want to get the word out. Thanks so much.